Hope you all are doing well. Well, I thought I would go live, and I'm sure you all have heard, but we have had stimulus pass the House and the Senate, which is great news. We are now in the mode where this will be going to the President of the United States, and hopefully there won't be any hiccups there. I don't anticipate that there will be. I thought I'd give a quick update. I see a bunch of people jumping on, want to for sure say hello to everybody. But let me go ahead and do a quick update, then I'm going to circle back and say hi to a bunch of friends and wonderful people. We expect we'll be going back live, not under the same exact circumstances as March, thankfully, but we'll be going back live a few times to help everybody and understand what's going on. Here is one of the interesting things, is that everything that I had hoped for in many, many ways is in here, other than the dollar amounts not being enough, if you will, in some areas. But let me just give you a quick rundown. I've been going through the latest bill that I had my hands on. And what we're looking at here is there will be PPP 2.0, and it will be up to $2 million. It'll be for those that are less than 300 employees. You will need to show that you are down, if you will, in your gross revenue by at least 25%, and that'll be a comparison from 2020 to 2019. You'll compare the same quarter in 2020 to 2019. For now, it says first, second, and third quarters. Soon that will include the fourth quarter. As it relates to PPP2, here is a huge difference, is that it will be able to be used for operating expenses, and that is fairly broad. So in operating expenses would be, of course, the payroll costs. It is going to be determined in the same fashion as PPP 1.0, which is based on payroll, monthly average, and then times 2.5. One of the provisions that is interesting, it was in the original CARES Act, and due to practicality, it kind of got pushed aside. But what's indicated is that the payroll is either based on 2019 or the last 12 months. So by the time PPP actually rolls out, I would assume it's going to be right after the first of the year, given that we have holidays. But nonetheless, you'll be able to, in essence, pick a time period that would better fit what your needs are, assuming that you do meet the qualifications of your gross being down by more than 25%. On the EIDL, no tax effects. So that mirrors what the new stimulus is indicating for the PPP when it comes to the tax adjustment. No tax adjustments for anybody. No tax adjustments. So if it wasn't basically about midnight my time, I'd probably be out in the streets and I'd be yelling hallelujah. How wonderful is this? I did say from the very, 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 very beginning, and told all my clients that the IRS is going to come out and indicate that this will be a tax adjustment, meaning PPP that's used and forgiven, it will result in your deductions being reduced. And the IRS did that, and they were just following protocol. IRS wasn't trying to do anything to try and cause havoc for us, but nonetheless, this completely and without a shadow of a doubt overrides the IRS's interpretation. And from that perspective, it also applies to the EIDL grant. So this is huge. I had shot a video earlier today talking about it, waiting to see, and I was able to delete the video. I hadn't published it, but I was talking about that. So the EIDL grant, the PPP forgiveness amount, okay, have no tax effect. It's not income, and it does not reduce down your expenses. So if you get $100,000 of PPP and it's fully forgiven and you got $10,000 in the EIDL grant, you're going to have a 0 tax adjustment for the EIDL grant and a 0 tax adjustment for the PPP forgiveness. Yeah, that's right. If you can give me a thumbs up, we got 100 people watching here right at midnight. The other thing is, here's what's is huge. Okay, there's a lot of confusion about this in the beginning, but the EIDL grant no longer will reduce down PPP forgiveness. Isn't that huge? That is massive. No longer will PPP forgiveness be reduced by the amount of your EIDL grant. So if you get $100,000 and you fully get it forgiven, you used it properly, and you got a $10,000 grant, you don't pay back the grant ever, not possible, and you're not going to pay back the $100,000. So don't at all take it as, well, I told you so, but take it as, don't doubt JJ, the CPA, for those of you that filed for forgiveness because you just couldn't stand it anymore and you just wanted to hurry and get it over with. God bless you. It's fine that you did it. I've indicated from the beginning, go ahead and file if you'd like, but I've been telling my clients that we want to wait. We want to wait for the next stimulus. So this is great news on this front, especially with the reduction not coming into play on the PPP forgiveness. Now, you could have applied, and if you've already gotten the reduction, because many of you went ahead and applied and you were completely and totally shocked, which was a bummer, that you got the forgiveness, but it was not to the extent of what you got from the EIDL grant. So no worries about that. It doesn't matter that you already put it in and the SBA came back and indicated you're not getting full forgiveness. So go back to your bank. And this is what I was wanting to avoid. And I've successfully avoided it for my clients. And then for those of you that trusted me, which I understand I'm just a guy on YouTube, but I am a certified public accountant. And that just means that I do have a little higher standard, if not a much higher standard from others in terms of the information that I'm putting out there. And so nonetheless, it's good news, no complaining required, but you're going to need to go back to your bank. Your bank's going to have to go back to the SBA. And it's not that it'll be unwound. I'm sure it'll be fine, but there's going to be a process, I'm sure, to go through it for those of you that already filed for forgiveness on the PPP. We know that if you got less than $150,000, the process is massively simplified. I'm going to do a video on that because everybody's going to assume that it's one thing, and I don't really want to take away from the night, but it is not blanket forgiveness in my opinion. It is not automatic forgiveness in my opinion. You still need to, in my opinion, figure out what it is that you actually qualify for forgiveness of, and that should be your forgiveness amount. I'm sure many will just put down the full amount and move along, but nonetheless, the SBA will be coming up with some audit guidelines, all to say that if you got $150,000 or less, there is going to be some major benefit in the lack of or the reduction of time that's required. We still need to have the documents, still need to do the calculation, in my opinion, but it's definitely simplified for $150,000 or below. Don't see any simplification if it's above $150,000. A couple other things I'm going to note to you, but I did want to just mention to you that I am doing some seminars. I got a link in the body of this video, but jjthecpa.com, and I'm doing some seminars. I just updated them tonight. I had seminars and still do about the PPP forgiveness, but knowing that it's going to be simplified, I expanded those seminars to include PPP2 as well as tax credits. So I've got a seminar for the self-employed, and there are specific tax credits that reduce down self-employment tax dollar for dollar. And then also there are self-employed tax deferrals related to self-employment, no one's talking about. No one's talking about it, meaning it was in the original CARES Act. So I'm going to talk about those that has immediate savings. I'm going to talk about PPP2 as it relates to the self-employed because they are included, as well as then what is being called for the self-employed or those that got less than $150,000, a PPP forgiveness certification. In the one that I'm doing for employers, I will be covering the PPP forgiveness still as originally planned, but we'll also be covering the PPP2 as well as the payroll tax credits. There are some unbelievable, I'm going to go so far as to say sexy, like blow your mind, like what? Tax credits. Like what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you what? We're going to get that much back? Tax credits. So nonetheless, I'll be putting videos out related to all of this. I'm not going to be like others and reserve information and you only get the information if you take my seminar. It will all be out there. The difference with my seminars is that it'll be step by step. It'll be full encompassing. You'll get the PowerPoint that goes along with it. I'll have a live Q&A and it'll be a limited audience. So go to my website, jjthecpa.com, and Card Shop Reality, boom, and go to the seminars and check them out. I am going to have a specific seminar for PPP2 on how to qualify, but I haven't actually released the dates to do that because two reasons. One, I want to make sure that we actually need to have a seminar to do it. And then two, we need to make sure we know, well, when will PPP2 start? So nonetheless, you can email me. You'll see a link to do that. So check out my seminars. But on the unemployment, I see a few comments here. I am going to circle back. I'm disappointed, and I know that if you're on unemployment, you're probably very disappointed. But my father would say it's better than a sharp stick in the eye. I know every little bit helps. $300 a week for 11 weeks. That's supposed to start December 27th and run through March 14th. I've done a couple of videos already on this. So go to my list of videos today. I'll put a link in this one as well, but I have a link to the U.S. Department of Labor. And what's important there is that they have links to each of the states. And I've had some that have just done a shortcut and they just go right to their state unemployment office. And I say, well, when JJ the CPA makes a recommendation to you, why are you trying to take a shortcut? So don't take a shortcut. What I want you to do is go to the Department of Labor website, go to that link. And the reason for it is that when you select your state, it's going to bring up multiple pieces of information, multiple portions of their website. Some of the states have 2 websites. One of the things that's important on the unemployment is to know that every state's different. The other aspect is that with the unemployment, you are going to need to apply for it. How? I don't know, because every state's different. I know that when there was unemployment, thank you, Russell. I know when there was unemployment, Coach, how are you, sir? When there was unemployment that came out of FEMA, many did not know. And they were watching a video of mine and they were like, whoa, we got to go and apply for it. And the answer is yes. So they went and applied for it, and people live, now this was on FEMA and this was back in September, were self-certifying and getting approved. And then I heard back later that money had hit their accounts within a couple of weeks. Why am I telling you this? You got to make zero assumptions. And if you're on unemployment, I don't have to tell you that your house is on fire. And if you've been watching my videos for a long time, you know what that means, which is you can't look left, you can't look right, you can't come up with any reasons why you're not going to be looking out for you and your family by really digging in and making phone calls or waiting on hold or searching the website or asking people. It's not so much I'm trying to give you a panic that the unemployment's going to run out, because it seems as though there's lots of money there. But the way the unemployment works, the way that FEMA worked is there was a certain number of dollars and it was allocated to each state. And of course, it was based on population and all that stuff. So don't at all think I'm telling you it's running out, but you can't sit around and wait. So immediately, I would hope that your states are going to start telling you what you need to do. So even if you're on unemployment right now, please don't find yourself hitting New Year's Eve and going, wait a second, I didn't get a check this week. Please be very proactive and ensure that you're getting this money. I don't mean to draw any panic or drama for you. And I'm sure if you're in those circumstances, you hear what I'm saying, which is just a sense of urgency to help you. Gene McIntyre, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Thanks for coming on so late. So we're looking at stimulus checks. You will now probably be able to watch some of the YouTubers out there. YouTubers, I don't know, going on maybe May and then in June and then July and then August and September and then October and November and half of December. I don't know how many videos there are. It has to probably be a world record of videos that are entitled Stimulus Checks Next Week. Stimulus checks just passed. And I'm just going to vent a little bit. It was put on by those that are probably in 5th grade, don't know how to read very well. They just read a headline and they think there's stimulus checks coming because they don't understand how Congress works. They don't understand how the law works. They don't understand politics. And all they care about is getting you to watch a video. Nonetheless, I digress just to say that we are getting $600. It is obviously half of what it was for the adults in the original CARES Act. So it'll be $600 per adult. So married filing jointly is $1,200. It doesn't matter if you're jointly or not. It's $600 for each adult. And then from the aspect of the children, kiddos, it was $500 a kid. Now it's $600 a kid. So a family of 4, it would be $2,400. The Secretary of the Treasury has indicated that he thinks checks could go out as early as next week, but I want to make sure everybody remembers that the president does need to sign this. I don't see why he won't, but the president does need to sign this. We do have Christmas on Friday. I know there's also Hanukkah and other holidays, but nonetheless, Christmas is on Friday. We also know that we've got New Year's the following week. So the point is the checks should be coming quickly. Hopefully the aspects of the actual ability for the money to be paid out, if you will be, there'll be less hassles is what I'm trying to get at. There'll be less hassles trying to get that money out to everybody. The one thing I want to mention too is that there is rental assistance involved. I haven't read up on that. So I'm happy not only for those that are the renters, but I'm happy for the landlords as well. We know that there's been a lot of impositions in that area. And then there's a number of other provisions related to payroll tax credits. I teach tax seminars around the country to CPAs, and they have been learning about these sick tax credits that came out of the CARES Act, and I've been telling everybody, hey, let's really pay attention. So the sick paid leave credits are extended. The employee retention tax credit is the one that's blowing my mind in terms of the amount of credit that's going to be available. On that one, I'll try and get videos out as soon as I can on the credit. And it's, at least in first pass, every single one of my clients is going to qualify for it. And they're going to get the max being what is their employer portion of Social Security tax on payroll for the entire year. And that most likely will be their tax credit. So I don't want to get ahead of myself because it will sound sexier than it is. But just know this, it's a tax credit of up to $5,000 tax credit per employee. Okay? Now it's limited, so I appreciate everybody that tunes into my videos as a CPA. There are other good YouTubers out there that put together good videos, but the difference with me is that I'm a practicing CPA. So for anybody that's on the live right now and you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd love for you to consider it, because this isn't what I do for a living. What I do for a living is I'm a practicing CPA. I have my own private client list, and I've had a YouTube channel for a couple of years, and we're putting out videos every day. It was really for my clients, and then when the pandemic hit, putting out information really for my clients is how then I got to meet so many wonderful people that are on right now that I'd like to say hello to. So I did a very brief overview. I'll be trying to come out with as many videos as I can. I'll try and organize it in a way that can be followed. I am going to be having these seminars that you should look into. The thing to note, though, okay, is that the number one priority for you that is watching right now is if you need unemployment, that's where you should feel a sense of urgency to make sure that you get it. And then for those that are getting the stimulus checks, we know that there's really probably not anything we can do, meaning they're just going to send it where they know to send it. And I'm sure it won't be today or tomorrow, but remember, the IRS website has a way that you can log right in and check your information, make sure that it's correct. If you just filed your tax return, then they should have it. And then the third is the PPP2. Now with PPP2, not sure of the timing of that. It does indicate, I believe it's within 14 days that the SBA is to come out with whatever the application process is for those to be able to get PPP2. That puts us probably into next week. So again, I'm trying to do the right thing by making sure that I'm doing a PPP2 seminar that would better match up to when we know the timing is. And I also want to price the seminar based on the amount of time that will be required, because it may be simpler than we think or simpler than number one. But I'll tell you this, on PPP, what I think will be different on this one is that there's going to be whoopings. There's going to be spankings for those that got PPP2 and shouldn't have, because what I'm under the understanding of is that you will prove everything after, and potentially what you're providing will be public record, meaning any of your receipts. Of course, I'm sure the Social Security numbers and bank account numbers on copied checks will be there, but it will be whooping time. And I know that for those that got PPP1, we knew that in the beginning there was high stress, high anxiety, there was high stance of who qualified, who got it, who should have got it. And then they backed off from that, and they backed off from that, and they backed off from it. But being a CPA and doing this for almost 28 years, what I'll tell you is that the bee's nest, okay, has been surrounded with smoke because we've been in the pandemic, right? It's been surrounded with smoke because we've been in an election year. It's been surrounded with smoke because we're still in a very unprecedented amount of times. What does that usually mean, right? Well, the bees, when there's smoke around, okay, it calms them down, right? Well, guess what? Going into 2021, there's not going to be any stimulus after this that I could predict. There are going to be, I think, higher repercussions to ensure that you get PPP forgiven. So I want to make sure that if I'm giving advice on how to get PPP 2.0, that I'm providing it to those that are going to take the advice as a CPA providing it, which starts with not fudging. None of you probably would, but not fudging and getting money. Because I'll tell you this right now, it's going to be as easy as standing in line and asking for a water bottle, and you're going to probably be handed it. But I think that the repercussions will be even worse, and rightfully so, if people take the PPP and don't deserve it. So I don't believe you actually have to even show that your revenue's down to the bank, but you'll have to show it at forgiveness time. So for me, I would want to make sure that if I'm telling somebody that they're going to qualify, that we know it up front. This isn't going to be, as the saying goes, well, it's better to ask for forgiveness later than permission up front. Wrong. Because I'm telling you, the SBA will provide whoopings and penalties, and I hope they do. I hope they do, because people that take this money that don't need it, don't deserve it, shouldn't have it, then shouldn't get it. And so I do think it's ripe a little bit for fraud. And so nonetheless, I'll back up on that. You can tell it's late, and you can tell that I want to make sure that people are getting their aid. So on the one hand, hopefully you understand the direction I'm coming from as JJ the CPA. On the one hand, I'm excited. On the one hand, I'm relieved. On the one hand, I'm glad that we have relief coming, especially to those that are unemployed, especially to landlords, especially to those that just need an extra shot in the arm because they missed work for a period of time or they're not getting extra hours. I do know that there's plenty of businesses out there that have been down. They're going to need PPP 2.0. And so I'm glad for all of that and all the things that are going to come out of it. I'm glad for the tax adjustments. I'm thankful for the tax adjustments. I'm so thankful that the EIDL will not reduce down, the EIDL grant will not reduce down the forgiveness amount. The EIDL grant will not yield a tax adjustment. PPP forgiveness will not yield a tax adjustment. I'm glad for all of that. I'm excited about it. But what you're probably also hearing is that this is serious business, and we have all of this help and all the things that I'm very pleased at that I said in the very beginning. I'm very happy about all of it. But nonetheless, we know we're in a pandemic. We know that we have some serious stuff going on in our country. And so I wish that we weren't in these set of circumstances where we didn't have to have all of this aid. Well, my goodness. Twee, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I wasn't even expecting it. Thank you so much. We have $24.99 from Twee. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Hey, so I am going to hop back up here and Gene McIntyre, how are you? Good to see you. Boy, and Rob, how are you? JJ, America's CPA never sleeps, and we are better because of this fact. Thank you, Rob. I really appreciate that. And Mary, thank you for being on. Coach's Pit Barbecue. We've got, oh my goodness, Coach's Pit Barbecue. What are you doing, my friend? Throwing up $50. Didn't even come on for any of that, but thank you so much to Twee and to Coach's Pit Barbecue. Very generous of you, Coach, with everything that you've got going on, and glad to know that you're busy. Everybody check out coachespittbarbecue.com, and it's our great friend from California who's currently shut down, but is finding that he's able to do some catering, and he's getting asked to do that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate both of you. Mary, good to see you. Thank you so much. Eric T, will adult dependent be getting a check this time? I don't think so. It seemed as though, and I was looking for it, and I couldn't find the exact language. Last I knew, it was going to be, though, for those that are 18 and under. And we got Buckeye DJ, just gave a thumbs up. Thank you for that. And Randall Hall is their EIDL 2. There is something in there related to this. Rosa, thank you so much, Rosa. I wasn't even expecting anybody. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you both. All three of you. We got Twee and Coach and Rosa. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate all of you so much. Is there EIDL number 2? I've not gotten that deep into it. It appears there is another round of grants. And then as it relates to the EIDL, my thinking is that it's had more money put into it, but I don't know that we'll be able to borrow anymore. But Randall, stay tuned for that. Sylvia and Matt, Buckeye DJ, I got EIDL based off of JJ's computations. It was only $4,400. I hope it will be forgiven. I don't think it will be on the EIDL. So on the Buckeye DJ, on the EIDL, you can go to sba.gov and check that out. With the EIDL, what you do is you put in your gross income and they will determine it from there. Sylvia, thank you for making this information clear. Thank you. And Phil, I'll apply for forgiveness next year. And I love it, Phil. And then Bayruk got 1,000 advance. How do we get the rest of the 9,000 if we qualify? So my understanding is that, you know, it's 1,000 per employee up to 10,000. My thinking is, and I have not seen yet any real details on this. I've read through what I could, but the SBA on some of these things will have to do some further clarification on that. But my understanding is that you'll qualify for 1,000 per employee up to 10,000. That still will be the case, but it did run out. So there were people that applied but weren't able to get the grant because that pool of money ran out. So my thought process is that will be for that. However, I don't believe it's retroactive, but don't hold me to that. That was something that was thrown in right at the end, in my opinion. And so I've not seen a lot written up on it. I do have, it's 5,593 pages. Obviously, we don't have to read the whole thing, but lots to go through there. The EIDL, someone had said, hope it's going to be forgiven on the EIDL. Don't see any forgiveness on that one because it is a loan. But the good news is if you got PPP, the EIDL grant won't reduce it. And we've got Dagon Catman applying for forgiveness after the first of the year, just as JJ suggested. I think that's a great spot to be in. Buckeye DJ and Coca Chocolate, hello, and Matthew Johnson. Is the PPP going to be open to new applicants? Yes, they really did widen who qualifies, even for newer businesses. Michael J. Murphy, how are you? I doubt you all the time. Ha! I know you're kidding there. And then Matthew Johnson, it wasn't clear from what I read. And we've got First Street Barbershop, you the man, great to see you. Miko 151, still trying to get my first EIDL under reconsideration. Is that dead in the water now? Well, I hope not, because I've got a number of people that I know on the channel that are under reconsideration. I've got one friend that's still under reconsideration, and they've checked back each week, and they say that it's still open. And Cindy Bell, oh my gosh, Cindy, what are you doing? You're so sweet. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for being you, she says. And Rosa, thank you again. And Coach's Pit Barbecue and Twee, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you all. Very, very unexpected. Let's see, Cindy Bell, I told anyone who asked. JJ said, wait, such good news. Yes. Let's see, we've got Screen Productions. Will Extra 300 POA be retroactive starting September 2020? I don't believe that it is. However, I don't want you to go off of that because the states are running this. I don't think it's going to be retroactive. But when I was looking, I couldn't even find anything that was really driving down enough detail. May have not gotten to the best section. So what I would say is get with your state, go to the U.S. Department of Labor. I did a video earlier today on unemployment. You can go to the body of that. I'll put a link in here to go to that, and it'll give you all the websites. And Card Shop Reality, boom, just getting here 10 minutes in. Coaches, I'm in. Great to see you. Thanks again. And then let's see, Guns N' Roses, thumbs up. We got Mark. I signed up for it last week. Can't wait. Thank you, Mark. And definitely expanded it since the process will be less. Will there be EIDL Part 2, Randall? I hope so. And Janet, thank you. Lana Taylor. Let's see. Don't think. And then we've got, looks like some people talking in here. And we got Jeremiah Buck and Russell McDonald and Daniel. And let's see. Daniel, I try to just stay the narrow. He is a certified public accountant. Just try and go right here and be helpful outside of the political realm. And let's see. Ramisha, yes, it was passed. Card Shop Reality, my favorite news is EIDL Grant is not held against us for the forgiveness, no doubt. Altamore Home Healthcare, great to see you. And we've got Margie. What's going on with the checks? $600 per adult and per child that is 18 or under is where I think that ended up. And then let's see, we've got Trixie Ferris, you man, good news. How are you, Trixie? Good to see you. And let's see, we got Amber Brown. Hi, JJ. Thank you for all you do. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Mark, I don't believe that the EIDL loans were ever on the table to be forgiven because it's been a program around so long. So that is not on the table. Let's see, and we've got B. Mabros and Sylvia just waiting on President Trump to sign. That's right, Mark. Let's see, and Card Shop Reality, and let's see, All in the Mind. EIDL Grant full 10K can be blamed if you live in a low income area. Not sure quite what that means. EIDL Grant full 10K. Let's see, Monica Lamb, great to see you. Good day, everybody. Eric Downs, so much clickbait. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm getting caught up. Let's see, Dagon Catman, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Digital, thanks for the update. Sorry, just joined here. Did they announce when we can apply for the new EIDL and PPP? So I'm assuming it'll be within 2 weeks. On the EIDL, that could be sooner, so stay tuned on that. I don't have any details on that because it hasn't passed, and I'll be talking with my friends that are in the banks, and they'll help me with that timing as well. And let's see. All right. Let's see. Eric and Card Shop and Eric T and Pressure Bus Pipes and Makes Diamonds. Let's see. Oh, someone's buying more stock with theirs. And on the is there any chance of automatic forgiveness? Well, basically what they've put into play is that if you got less than 150,000, they've widened the door for people just to put down, well, here's how much I want forgiven. For my clients, we'll be getting it all forgiven, so it's technically not blanket forgiveness or automatic forgiveness. Basically, at the end of the day, it's a certification that you can make. You still need to have the documents. You still need to do a calculation. They're still expecting you to only put down an amount that is what you should be forgiven for. They're going to come up with some audit protocol, but we'll see on that. And let's see, Digital Nomad, and let's see, Gene McIntyre. Yes, that's why they didn't announce this Friday like usual, because it is Christmas. I love it. And we've got Chi-Town and Jeremiah Buck. And let's see, I realized that it's already 12:30, so I'm going to pop down on here. And let's see. Oh, Smoker Lady said something there. And Eric Downs, Card Shop. Okay, you guys are talking. I love it. You guys are talking about amongst yourselves. Big scrape, big scrap. No, Trump hasn't signed it yet. And let's see. All right. Well, hey, thanks for everybody jumping on. Gregory French didn't get the full 10. I believe it's still going to just be 1,000 per employee up to 10,000. I haven't been able to gather if it's going to be a second round of that. I do not believe it will be. If you didn't get 10, you're going to get whatever the difference is between now or what you got previously and the 10. And let's see, Phil Anderson. I'm glad people are getting stimulus check. I know a lot of people who need it. Absolutely. Just wish it was more. And let's see. All right. All in the Mind. And we've got Rob Rass. And we got FAROUK Abad. And Sylvia and Single Mom Life. And Sadak and OG. And Matthew Johnson. JJ, is the PPP going to be open to new applicants? Oh, Must have been wanting to make sure I saw that. The answer is yes. Miko 151, still trying to get my first EIDL. We'll stay after it. Let's see, Santhi, do I have to apply for the first PPP forgiveness to qualify for the second? No, you do not, Santhi. King Victor, can you apply for SBA without business? Unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to. Brian, how are you? Brian Boudreau, love your updates. It really helps myself and my clients. Thank you for that, Brian. I really appreciate that. Amanda, let's see. All right, and Friedmar, and let's see. Much info. All right, lots of good information here. We got great people jumping on. Christy, where do we get check for grants in our state? Also, is it $600 per adult? And how much for a child that is 17? Any single parent grants? So Christy, on that, it's $600 per adult, $600 per child. I believe on this one, it's 18 and under. Just haven't had time to verify that. I looked and looked and I just couldn't find the age aspect. And then I don't know of anything different for single parents, which is usually the head of household. In terms of grants for your state, boy, that's just hit or miss. But the city website, the county websites, the state websites, typically if you're going to those, just the municipal ones, if they have them, they're listing them. So take a look at that, and hopefully you will find some. Let's see, Mike Jones, can we apply on SBA website? Well, for now, that would be related to EIDL. The PPP will go through the banks. They won't get the same amount of fee. So it may not be that every bank is going to participate. And let's see. Charisse, McCaleb, hello. Use your info to receive my first PPP loan. Thank you. Well, you bet. I'm glad. And hopefully we'll be able to get you some more. Vanessa, JJ, you're worth every penny and more. Wish I could thank you with some dollars. Do another video after we get our... You're very kind. I really appreciate that. And we've got Cheryl. Thank you for joining. Me 2008. Thank you so much. And this keeps popping down here. We've got Mike Jones and Mike Hall and Real Grandma. How can we find a bank that does PPP? SBA.gov site with supposed banks is blank. Oh, well, yeah, stay tuned for that. The banks that were doing it may not continue to do it because they aren't getting the same fee. So stay tuned for that. I would hope, though, the bank maybe that you got it from, if they're a smaller one, will still do that. The fees are less for the bigger banks or the bigger loan amounts. Lady Ouch, and let's see, like my rhymes, Fredamar Andres and Elsie and Kyle, is there a round 2 of EIDL? Will round 1 PPP be deductible now? Kyle, yes, we won't have to make a tax adjustment, so it'll be deductible. Stay tuned on the round 2 of the EIDL. I'm not sure if it's an actual round 2 or basically money put in for those that hadn't applied yet. Let's see. Yes, Farooqabad. I agree with you there, and some good news. Yes, Ian, what if gross profits are down 30%, gross revenue is not? Yeah, I know we're going to run into some issues. I'm going to look at that carefully, Ian. Right now it looks to be gross revenue, not gross profits. Of course, I know exactly what you're talking about as it relates to your cost of goods sold affecting that. Why do you suggest doing PPP forgiveness after 12/31? Mark, you can do it anytime you want. We've got Christmas, we've got holidays, I've got stuff going on. And, I'm just telling my clients after the first of the year, but you can do it tomorrow. Part of it, though, is they haven't come out with the new form or the new certification. So I don't know how we can apply right now anyways if we want to take advantage of the simpler method. But if you want to go ahead and if you got over 150,000 and you want to apply, you sure can. This is about saving time and effort, and then also just getting past the holidays and then making sure the stimulus is signed into law. So we are all trying to work through this, and after 12/31 is 9 days from now. Let's see. And Twee, thank you so much. Your channel deserves 1 million subscribers. Thank you, Twee, for that, and thank you so much. And oh, and we had some people. Randall, thank you so much. We had somebody else. Where is that? Somebody else popped on really quick here with Randall, and then there was somebody else. And now where is it? Let's see. We got coaches up there. We've got Randall. Thank you so much. Very, very, very thoughtful, very kind. We had somebody that just contributed a little bit as well. Look at this. We have Cherise. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wasn't even expecting this, y'all. And B. Mabros, thank you so much for that. You guys are all so kind. And let's see. Coach did and C. Adams with a question. So Amanda says we've got a question here. B. Mabros, thank you so much. And Cherise and Randall and Coach, thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate all of you. This is unbelievable. Okay, so goodness. All right. And Cindy Bell, thank you so much. Okay, wow, I'm just behind Rosa and coaches. Oh my goodness, now I'm a little lost of where I was supposed to be. Let's see. Okay, so Amanda is in bed. And C. Adams, thank you so much. C. Adams, will my PPP loan be tax deductible on payroll, etc.? Yes. C. Adams, yes. Will my PPP loan be tax deductible on payroll? Meaning, whatever you spent the PPP on, as long as it's a tax deductible expense, of course, which you would have, you're going to be able to tax deduct it. So there will be no tax adjustment for the PPP loan. And they indicated that for PPP round 2. They did a good job. I read it several times where they indicated for round 1, round 2, that it's not in income, and there'll be no adjustment, no reduction in expenses, and then also for the next round as well. And they even went so far as to clearly identify for the S Corp owners and partnerships that there's not going to be any repercussions at the individual level as well. Oh my gosh, we have Vanessa Silva. Thank you so much. Very generous of you. I really appreciate it. Just taken aback as always. I love doing this and glad to help. And so this just means so much to me. B. Mabros, thank you again. And Cherise and Rosa and coaches and Cindy Bale. Really appreciate you all, and Twee for kicking it off with that. And let's see. So we have Dorian Daniels, new to the channel. Well, welcome. Hopefully you'll get some value out of what we're doing here. Let's see. And we've got Brandon and BK Go Bucks. I enrolled in your seminar. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's going to be perfect timing. I know we've got the stimulus, we've got the bill, the president will sign it, then it'll take a little bit for things to actually work its way through the SBA and the IRS. And so I was really hoping that we would hit the perfect timing. We're going to be right after the first of the year, and it'll be the perfect timing, in my opinion, for everything. We'll be hitting right with the PPP 2 there. Let's see. So C. Adams, I was worried that the tax deduction piece could have been excluded in the bill prior to passing the Senate. Has it passed officially? Yes. Yes, it has, C. Adams. It has. It's passed the House and the Senate. It's now going to the president, and the president is expected to sign it. Of course, it's kind of an all or nothing, so there won't be any line item vetoing it. So we are going to see no tax adjustment on that. Let's see, yes, and so Cherise and B. Marbros and Vanessa and Randall and C. Adams and Cindy Bell and Twee and coaches, thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate that. And that's a neat feature. We just qualified, we just qualified a while ago for this, and we haven't gone live very much. And so I'm just always taken aback when anybody's contributing while we're going live. So I really appreciate that so much. Someone wants to know, I saw, but it floated, how to update your checking account. So if you're talking about with the IRS, go to irs.gov and you will see immediately, get my economic impact payment. And go to get my payment, and then right now, you can see what it does. Right now, we need to know that the $600 technically isn't in law yet. And so the IRS website may not have it up yet. It wouldn't tonight, but that'd be where you'd want to go if you were asking about for your direct deposit of your EIDL. I saw that Patty B was on. I don't see, I want to make sure I didn't miss her. And let's see. So we've got Sarah K, Speed Read. Yes, no doubt. Hey, how you doing? Matthew Johnson, good to see you. And we've got Melissa Crisanto. I'm probably really mucking that up. Let's see. I'm taking you to Outback Steakhouse, baby, C. Adams said. Well, I really appreciate that. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I say steaks. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Let's see. We've got, and we've got Vanessa and more people coming on, just shared with us. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We got Ricky. Great. Pass it on. Now I can pay my rent now. Oh, man. Ricky, sorry for those circumstances that you're in. That just hits me, for real. We've got Lead Danmo. When will the first wave of payments be sent out? Just curious. So Secretary of Treasury, of course, this was today, and it assumed that things would pass tonight, was indicating that as early as next week. So, we've got Carrie Latimer on with us. Carrie, thank you so much. Throwing down some thank you money, if you will. I guess that's the way that you would say it. So thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas to everybody as well. Dave P, does PPP2 use the same formula as last time for the size of loan? So Dave, yeah, it's 2019 or the last 12 months, and we get to pick as the borrower. So it's the last 12 months, which actually was in the CARES Act. You could do the last 12 months. My clients, for the most part, did the last 12 months, meaning they did second, third, fourth, and first quarter of 2020, which means nothing now. My point is that it can be based on 2020, since we're going to be in January, or it can be based on 2019. And then it's limited to $2 million and then not more than 300 employees. Will fourth quarter of 2020 qualify for PPP2? Well, the short answer is yes, when you read it carefully, that your fourth quarter compared to the other fourth quarter is something that will qualify. They had to write it the way they did it because we're not quite there yet. Can self-employed business apply for? Yes, Mike Jones, they can apply for PPP2 when it comes about. And we got Mohammed. Thank you so much. Excellent CPA. I appreciate that. We've got Carlos Almanzar. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. I really appreciate you. And so they won't reduce PPP1 forgiveness by the total of our EIDL grant. Even with the EIDL grant, we can get the 100% forgiveness. Yes. Farouk Abad. Yes. Isn't that awesome? So the EIDL grant does not reduce down PPP forgiveness. The EIDL grant is not income. It does not reduce down our expenses. And the PPP forgiveness amount does not reduce down our expenses. So the EIDL grant has no tax effect and no PPP forgiveness effect. And then the PPP forgiveness, in essence, is not going to be a tax adjustment. And even if it wasn't forgiven, if there's a portion that's not forgiven, well, that's not a tax adjustment either because you have to pay it back. And we've got, let's see, Sujitra, Sujutra, probably totally did that one. Mark, yes, I tell you what, Mark, I have one and they have followed up and they said that they're still open. On the one, it's helping it's a client that doesn't pay me. So it's somebody I'm helping for free. But anyways, we were talking with the SBA together, and I did inquire whether or not the new stimulus would make any existing reconsiderations go away. And they said no. related to that. So my understanding is the reconsiderations are still alive. Okay, so Rob Rass is saying that there's a 3.5 for restaurants. Thank you, Rob. I haven't been able to deep dive enough into this, but that seems like it should be the case because I know there was supposed to be some extra. Millie Guthrie, JJ, you're awesome. Do you know if there will be any tax credits for the self-employed? Thank you. Merry Christmas. Millie, yes, we have the tax credit, and it's actually out of the CARES Act, and it is a dollar for dollar reduction of the self-employment tax, and it's the sick leave credit. So I will be doing some videos on it, but I'm doing a seminar, and I'm going to specifically be going through those credits. The difference with my seminars is that you're on with me live. For the self-employed, it's an hour seminar with an hour of live Q&A. You're getting my PowerPoint and PDF, and I'm walking through it more methodically. With my videos, of course, I'm walking through it, but it's one subject at a time. Nonetheless, yes, and for the self-employed, you, if need be, can defer a portion of your self-employment taxes. And I'll tell you what, I appreciate you bringing that up, Millie, because no one is talking about that. All right, let's see. We've got, we've got Mark Klaskin. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Big thumbs up there, big time. Really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'm just touched. Twee jumped us off, and we've got Cindy Bell and coaches. Thank you so much. And we've got Rosa and Sarah K. You're awesome. Sarah K., I surprised her with a phone call when I was on my way down to see OU beat Texas, and got to visit with her for a little bit, and been a longtime friend as well. Cindy Bell, so many of you, Card Shop Reality, and Rosa, and Coach's Pit Barbecue, and Twee. Thank you so much for your generosity, and I appreciate too, there must be another spot that I need to find on C. Adams and those questions. Live chat, we'll have to look at this, Amanda, because on C. Adams, there must be a special spot that I am not seeing for that. So I'm glad that you were telling me. So basically, Amanda's in bed right now, okay? And I told her I was going live, and I don't think she believed me at first. But then when she saw that I was setting up all the lights and getting everything ready and getting the microphone pulled over and getting everything, she realized that that is true. All right, so we've got, let's see. Okay, did I, boop, boop, boop. We got to pop this out, pop out the chat. Okay, maybe that'll help here. All right, Sarah K., thank you again. And Mark, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And Carrie, C. Adams, there we go. I just needed to pop it out, I guess. Now I'm able to see that. Thank you so much. And all right, so we are going to have a number of other seminars that we'll be listing. I see somebody just signed up. I really appreciate that. You can go to my website, jjthecpa.com. There's a page of seminars, and the difference with the seminars is, in essence, that I'm doing it step by step. I'm doing it with you. There's a PowerPoint. It's more thorough, if you will, and there's a PowerPoint that you're able to get a copy of. You'll get a copy of the video. There'll be live Q&A. So anyways, I'll still be putting all the information on my videos. I definitely don't want to deprive anybody of the information. And all right, so let's see. How would we, and what do I file for my half of the stimulus check? Well, Amanda, Yarberry, I am not sure. I'm not seeing any questions above that. For your half of the stimulus check, I am not sure that they have it. So, all right. So Card Shop Reality, Bud Fox, Mermaid from Splash, Gecko, Glengarry, Glen Ross, all coming through with thumbs up tonight. Damn, JJ, I love it. And Card Shop, I can't remember, where was our bet at? It seems like It seems like the bet got cut in half though, and we had Card Shop Reality that put together a neat bet, great friend of us and Amanda, and the bet was that whether or not we were going to get stimulus by a certain date, and he was hoping that he would lose because he would come out ahead, obviously because there'd be a stimulus check. So I know the stimulus check is not as much. Not half, you lost a whole dollar. Well, that's true. I can see that because I think the bet we went twice, and I actually think CSR, I probably owe you $2 because I think we went double or nothing on the thing. So, okay, we got some questions here. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Rosa. I really appreciate that. Last week's tax strategy seminar was outstanding. JJ always over delivers and was so gracious with his time and advice. Feel so lucky to find his channel. Happy holidays, everyone. Well, thank you for that, Rosa. I really appreciate that, and thank you for giving some money, and really appreciate you. Let's see, JJ, if you were us, what might be your next 3 steps? Anything you suggest us doing before the end of the year? Well, I would say outside of the stimulus, I would probably be, we know what the stimulus is, the $600. If you're on unemployment, it's the $300. Wish it was more, wish it was longer. We know that PPP2 is coming, and it would be basically, if your gross receipts are down, I've been talking about it since July, you'd want to know if you qualify for it. So 3 things to do before year end, which is first and foremost, what's your cash position 3 weeks from now? Now you know what aid you may be getting. So where are you going to be? On my website, jjthecpahelp.com, I have a survival page. And long story short is, what do you got in the bank now? What's guaranteed to come in? What are your major expenses that are going to hit basically right after the first of the year? And then it'll help you make maybe some more educated decisions of what to do now and in next week, depending on what your cash position is going to be in 3 weeks. So that'd be the first thing. For those of you that need Paycheck Protection Program monies, you need to be looking at your quarter by quarter gross receipts, comparing it to the prior year, seeing if you're less than the 25%. If you are unemployed, and I'll just say it from this perspective, your number one is to make sure that you're in line, if you will. Your number one is to make sure you're finding the right website. Probably won't be up tomorrow, but your number one goal is to make sure that you are, in essence, in line to get your benefits so that you don't miss any. But then the third thing would be, okay, now we know that there's not going to be a PPP tax adjustment. We know there's not going to be an EIDL Grant tax adjustment. So what I will be doing tomorrow with my clients will be the number 3 thing to say, which is then, okay, well then what does the tax outlook look like? Because I know a number of clients, we kind of had 2 strategies. It's like, well, if we're going to have a $200,000 adjustment, if you will, we're not going to be able to deduct $200,000 worth of expenses. All right, well, then we might need to do this at year end and this at year end and this in year end. But if they now don't have that, I know we're going to pull the reins on a few things. So relook at what your tax picture is going to be. And let's see, C. Adams, will second PPP round be similar to the first in terms of keeping some headcount for payroll based upon 2019 payroll? I'll tell you what, it doesn't appear to be the case because PPP2 can be used for operating expenses that includes payroll. So I will say this, I went through the Paycheck Protection Program. When you're looking at bills, if you haven't seen it, they're not written very easily to see a lot at the same time, and there's a lot of references. And so part of what I'll be doing is taking notes and going back and forth. And so the real answer, though, I think, C. Adams, is that there's got to be something in there to ensure that you're keeping your employees. But the fact of the matter is that there is more ability for what it can be used for, and then the percentages and things to that effect. So stay tuned. But at the end of the day, it seems like it's way more latitude on what the money can be used for. It seems like it's very much matching what you can use the EIDL for in terms of kind of your ongoing and operating expenses there. So, all right, let's see. Patty B just said it was late. The man never sleeps. I really appreciate you. Patty B was the one that spurred this live. I did a quick premiere today, and she had said, "Are you going to go live?" Something to that effect. But all right. Well, hey, thanks to everybody for coming on. Sarah Kay, thanks again. C. Adams and Carrie and Mark, thank you so much. Sarah Kay and Coach's Pit Barbecue and Twee, and I think I said Carrie, and I'm probably missing somebody, but thank you so much, C. Adams, for a number of, for lack of a better word, contributions, if you will. And let's see. So we probably need to wrap it up. We're at 1 a.m. I told Amanda, and I thought I was real. I was being so sincere. I said, I just probably be 15 minutes. Vanessa Silva, thank you so much as well. And B. Mabros, thank you so much. Charisse, Caleb, I really appreciate you. And Randall, thank you. Oh, Randall might have snuck by me. Randall, thank you so much for that. C. Adams asking all the great questions and throwing some money onto the questions is very much appreciated. And let's see, that's the signal from Amanda. Let's see, C. Adams. All right. If that is the case, will loan amount be based on 2019 or 2020 payroll within given quarters? Yeah, no worries here, C. Adams. I really appreciate you. So with this, the amount of the loan will be based on 2019 or 2020. And it says in the law, it's at the borrower's election. So in essence, it would be, of course, whatever would be the highest. And to be specific, it says last 12 months. Well, where we are, it would either be, we're hitting January. So we've got 12 months of 2020. That would be the law. Or it's 2019. Take it divided by 12 times 2.5. So same calculation. Same thing based on 19, you can include 20. And then I really feel as though when you're looking at PPP2, that, I don't see anything in here, and that's why I'm reserving a little bit, but I'm not seeing anything in here related to the PPP. And I'm just saying because there's so many pages here. So what I'll be doing is looking at a number of those aspects and making sure that we are second draw. Let's see, here we go. Since eligible, talking about, I'm looking at the law right now. I was just going to see real quick if I saw, let's see. Yeah, they had a lot more provisions under PPP 1 in terms of the percentage, and even when they list the definition of covered expenses, it is very broad. And that's why I said it really reminds me of the EIDL. So I will mention to everybody, in trying to do it in good faith, I haven't listed it yet, but I am going to be doing a seminar for PPP2 and how to ensure you qualify and then to calculate and send it in. Now, I know for many, you can say, well, why do I need to go to a seminar? Well, you don't. I'm going to be still putting that information on my YouTube channel. And you might say, well, the calculation's easy. Okay, then go. But the purpose of the seminar for me is I will be doing with you what I'm doing with my clients. And what I'm going to be doing with my clients is making sure they actually qualify, because there's going to be a whooping, and maybe deservedly so, for those that just go pigs at the trough and take more than what they are supposed to get. But nonetheless, I want to make sure that my clients qualify. So it's going through the process. And then I also want to make sure that they're doing the calculation properly, because there is that aspect of it as well. I see that my good friend Rob and client up in Wichita has indicated that we're at 68 minutes is equal to 30 JJ minutes. I love it, Rob. I love it. C. Adams, yes, I really hope the terms don't change like last. So stay tuned on that. So everybody can go to my website, jjthecpa.com, and I have a seminars website. So the difference with the website and the seminars is that I'm going to be on live. It's for the employers. It's a 3-hour seminar, 2 hours. I'm walking through everything, PDFs, worksheets, calculations. It's meant for you to walk through any aspect of the PPP forgiveness that's needed. And then I'm doing one for the self-employed, and I'll be walking you through the payroll tax credits for the employers. For the self-employed, I'll be walking you through the tax credits. It's really not possible that you don't go to the seminar and get a tax credit that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 times more than what you paid. There's no way you don't go to this seminar and you save way more than the cost of the seminar, way more. So anyways, the point of me just saying that is I priced it. I think I got an email today and somebody was doing a stimulus update webinar, and I think it was like $595. I got another one, and it was an hour long, and it was going to be $375 or something like that. I don't know. Long story short, I'm pricing these seminars that hopefully it's a low hurdle for people to be able to jump over, to be able to come. And so hopefully I'll see you on the Zooms, and appreciate those of you that have already signed up for them. I'll have a PPP2 and just want to wait a little longer before I put it out there, so I can make sure that I know what's actually needed in the seminar so that I'm charging appropriately, meaning I don't want to charge more than what I think I need to, just depending on it. So, all right, well, I am going to have to wrap up here. We are at 1:07 a.m. Let's see. Mike Jones, can you apply on the SBA website? It would only be if you're getting the EIDL. And let's see. Oh, and we have Sharice. Yes, and I thank you for the amount, Sharice, but I just seen your note here. Let's see, and I think I'm actually way behind here. So, all right, Amber Brown, thank you so much. Oh, and Amber Brown's a tax preparer. Thank you so much, Amber. Love to see you in one of the Zooms, and maybe you were in the last one. Phil, let's see. Amanda, make sure JJ doesn't upload a video on Christmas. Take a day off. Well, Phil, I've already shot one, and it's sitting there waiting to be going up, but I won't shoot it on Christmas. Let's see. All right. Yeah, and we've got, let's see, we've got Amanda on the JJ, the CPA. Manners are everything, guys. This is free info. Remember that. Okay. Well, I'm just oblivious. Randall, thank you so much. Lady Ouch. Let's see. Let's see. Sam the Man, appreciate you. Buster 916. Yeah, I heard the wording was child who has not attained the age 17. That's what it was before, and that's where I just have to wait and see. Got to dive into it. It just seemed like what I heard all along, as recent as this morning, is that it was going to be for 18 and under, not even under 17, but 18 and under. So we'll see on that. I'm sure there's going to be lots of videos. Most YouTubers were paying attention to the stimulus checks coming tomorrow, right? So I bet they're all over it, because they're a smart bunch out there letting me know there's going to be stimulus checks every 2 days starting back in July. Let's see. All right. Well, shoot. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you for jumping on. I see that there's a number of questions. I got to as many as I could. And Let's see. Yeah, Ryan, 2 potential calculations. Yep, one based on 2019, the other based on 20. Let's see. And looks like there might have been some talk in between. Carrie, great to see you. Rich, please let me know how I can update my door. Oh, okay, I'm far behind because I think I already answered that one. You know what I should do, Amanda? I'm going to go down to the bottom and then work my way up. All right, this would be the part where we would normally say, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate you. Boy, I didn't even ask. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you would. We've got 290 people on and we have 230 thumbs up, CSR. Rob, Gene, 230 thumbs up. That is phenomenal. And guess what? You know what I love? I love it. The people that do thumbs down probably have no idea, okay? Unless they watch my channel, because I tell people. It actually helps me just the same as a thumbs up. I don't like to see a thumbs down. It's usually just a grouch. It's usually, Oscar the Grouch came up and just saw JJ the CPA talking and it made him mad and they put a thumb down. But the thing is YouTube sees it as engagement. So I've learned over time not to take the thumbs down personally. People are just angry about things right now. And so we wish them the best. The only thing I wish is that I could somehow figure out who gives the thumbs down so that I could block them. Because I will tell you this, I don't mind blocking people. I don't have to do it that often. But I'll tell you this, when I have a client that doesn't talk to me right, I fire them. Now, here's the good news. I haven't had to fire clients in a long time. Why? Because they know there's only one JJ the CPA. Mark, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, here I'm going to say it in closing. You ready? You've never met a CPA quite like me. All right, look for future lives. Look for the videos that are coming out. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for coming on the live. For those of you that have given the thumbs up and then have subscribed, that's just means everything to me. Those of you that gave money, paid money, I'm awestruck by it. I'm very honored, and I truly mean that because I don't even expect it. So it's just a wonderful, it's just a wonderful tip. It's probably the way that I would see that. I know when I'm have somebody that is doing something for me and I'm able to tip them, it makes makes that just a really neat situation. So thank you so much for that. All right, hey, Amanda, take note. We do need to send, it's $2 we owe CSR. We do need to get the $2 there. Carrie, Merry Christmas to you. Pools Artistic Plastering, thank you so much. Millie, thank you so much for being on. Good night. Merry Christmas, CSR, and thanks for the card. Absolutely. Rob, thank you. Merry Christmas. And Russell and Mark and Trixie Ferris, how are you? Alan, have a great Christmas, Trixie, and Alan, and Patty B, and Vanessa, and let's see, Pools Artistic as a small business with no employees. What can I apply for this go around? It'll be PPP2, and if you are needing unemployment extended, you would qualify for that as well. But PPP2 you would qualify for. Bucky Doris, no thumbs down coming from here. I really appreciate that. All right, Betty and Lanau, probably pronounced it wrong. And we got David and Farukabad, C. Adams, thank you so much. Noah, and contribute to my Cash App. Oh, goodness. Let's see, we'll hire, let's see, let's hide that one. And, probably already took care of it. Oh, fine, I guess I will subscribe. Oh my gosh, CR is finally gonna subscribe. Oh my, you're killing me. You're not even true. That's not even true. Bucky Doris, Single Mom Life, Musette, let's see, signed up for the self-employed. I saw that. Thank you so much. I saw your notification jump down. Thank you for, let's see, Leanna, I didn't get that right. Leanna Holmes, Leilani, gosh, Nedra Jones, thank you so much. And we've got Bounty, 1798, Mike Hall, we got Proud P. Gossas, Sarah K., the least you could do, somebody says. We got Victor. Oh, no, so not somebody said that. That's their name. We got XWill619SD and Mike Hill, Sharice, Betty, and let's see. All right, C. Adams and Cindy and Greg and Noah and Gene McIntyre and Tony. There's Tony. Good to see you, Tony. Tony Deanna. Great to see you. All right. Well, hopefully I mentioned everybody. Thanks again, Melissa. You're the best. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Okay. See me. Applied for unemployment. Still won't allow me to call and file weekly yet. Any reason why? I don't, and I hate it for you. Every state is different. That's right. David, thank you so much. Money Never Sleeps, Card Shop Reality, Inside Joke. I've been subscribed since early 2020, but now when JJ asks people to subscribe, I post to reluctantly do it like I'm being talked into it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for everything, CSR. All right, Melissa, Muhammad Omar, what's up? All right, Mark. Love the shout outs. It reminds me of the magic mirror on Romper Room. I love it. All right, you all. Well, I said it once before. I'll say it again. Merry Christmas to everybody. Much love. Appreciate all of you. And if you saw my post, you know when I say Merry Christmas, I'm wishing you my best. So whatever your bests are, if it's Happy Hanukkah, whatever your best wishes are, Happy Holidays, I hope you wish them to me. I'm wishing you my best by saying Merry Christmas. And yeah, Amanda, we'll have to show them. I was Santa Claus yesterday for 3 hours, went around and gave toys to little boys and girls, about 150 of them, going throughout a neighborhood and getting pictures. And it was something magical to see little kids with the full getup of Santa, and to see their eyes. But I tell you what, I get a lot out of all this. So thank you so much to everybody. All right. Thank you, Bucky Doris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, yes. Card Shop saw us on there. Post a pic of the Santa. Will do. All right, Susan, Merry Christmas. Mark, Happy Holidays. And Poolside, when you're going live again, I don't want to miss it. Love you. I appreciate that. I don't know what our schedule will be yet. But we will typically put it up earlier in the day so then people will know. So I really appreciate that. And I will try and announce it, so everybody pay attention to my community page. All right. Cindy Bell, Happy Holidays. Brian, Merry Christmas. Miriam, Merry Christmas. And thank you to everybody. All right. I better go. We are at an hour and 17 minutes. Not too bad, Rob. All right. Hey, Merry Christmas to everybody. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. All right, y'all. See you soon. Many more videos to come.